Hey there. Today I'd like to talk about what my healing process looked like and what it felt like. My diagnosis, by the way, for reference, is major depressive order with a history of suicide attempts and borderline personality disorder. I wrote all this out because I really didn't want to ramble and waste your time, and I didn't want to lose my thought, which I do a lot. So, in order to not waste your time and get to the point, I've written everything out. So, forgive me while I read. Eventually, I'll figure out a better way to do these things. So, my healing process began 5 years ago after my second serious suicide attempt. 2 days before, I had yet another friend betray me. It was just the absolute last straw. I was still suffering with the aftershock of being betrayed in my failed marriage. If you have ever discovered that you had absolutely no idea who you were sleeping next to every night, then you surely understand the effects of serial lying, gaslighting, and cheating on your ability to trust your own judgment. That is the cheating and the lying of your spouse. Empty nest syndrome was destroying me from the inside out. As a teenage mom, most of my life had been about taking care of my kids. Now that was shockingly over. I was absolutely lost. I had no income, no apartment. Everything I owned was in storage. I was not in therapy, although I had made several attempts to get into therapy prior to the suicide attempt. I struggled with suicidal intentions for several weeks, and I documented portions of that experience. The raw videos are on my channel. All of the trigger warnings apply. So the first step of my healing was to commit to therapy. The next step was following through and showing up for myself every week to do the work. The actual healing started happening when I got far enough along in my therapy to be able to use the coping skills I learned in therapy. If you find yourself in a practice that offers group therapy, it is no longer about discussing your issues with the group and helping each other to understand and heal. Now, group therapy is about being taught coping skills. There are several different types of therapy, like CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. But the one that I was taught is DBT, which stands for dialectical behavioral therapy, which is about a focus on radical acceptance and an acknowledgement that sometimes we can feel more than one thing at once and that these feelings can be in complete opposition with each other. Oh, I'm shaking the camera, sorry. We were taught how to stay in the moment with things like breathing exercises and body scans, but the practice that helped me the most is basically focusing on my environment to interrupt my obsessive negative thoughts. For example, find 5 red things in my environment. Identify 5 sounds. Name 3 odors, etc. Over many weeks of repetition of these skills in group therapy, I began to utilize them when my thoughts and feelings began to plummet into desperation for everything to end. I learned to disrupt those thoughts and find better ones. This process was slow and gradual in about 2 years, and at that point, I wasn't feeling suicidal anymore, although I still struggled with repetitive suicidal thought patterns, but no longer was cutting myself with razors. The next level of my healing journey was about facing the truth and abandoning all of the lies, especially the lies that I told myself. Questioning the stories I believed about myself. Basically, my attachment style had dictated what my inner voice told me all of my life. From the ages of 4 to 6, my sister and I were unexpectedly sent across the country from Dallas, Texas to Buffalo, New York, where our grandma lived. During those 2 years, I felt devastated, confused, unseen. Forgot to mention, our parents left us at grandma's house, and we didn't see them. They went back to Texas. During those 2 years, I felt devastated, confused, unseen, forgotten, unwanted, and unloved. This early traumatic experience caused me to believe that there was something inherently wrong with me. This belief gave birth to my attachment style, which is anxious, and I have carried this belief with me my entire life that I am not good enough. This has made me insecure in countless ways and afforded me infinite opportunities to berate myself for all of my perceived shortcomings. I was desperate, clingy, quick to act, and always afraid of abandonment. Understanding this dynamic in my life has helped me to start reparenting my inner child. Correcting those thoughts was an enormous part of my healing. And last for today is about understanding the frameworks of my life. For example, I never understood why my relationship with my mother was so turbulent. I was forever confused as to who was at fault for what. When I learned about narcissistic mothers, I suddenly had a new framework from which to view my mother. As soon as that confusion was ended by the knowledge that she was a narcissist, I was able to let my resentment go. With regard to my situationship dude in Colorado, as soon as I finally accepted the truth, which is that he can barely handle his own life, much less add mine to the mix, and by learning about his avoidant attachment style, I was able to see the situation with new clarity. I now understand that the issues we have are because of our opposing attachment styles. Accepting this and feeling that I've outgrown this relationship allowed me to enforce a new boundary, which is to not allow unbalanced relationships wherein my love is not reciprocated. So, it is my genuine, earnest hope that this information gives you some sort of clarity or understanding about what the healing process looks like, what it takes to do the mental and emotional homework to heal. Yeah, I think I gave you a pretty good overview. And I'm going to spend the rest of the channel talking about all of my specific experiences and the specific lessons that I've learned, how I learned them, you know, different struggles that I've overcome during my time in therapy over the last 5 years. Yeah, so it is my intention to exemplify what it looks like to do this and to present my story and my experiences completely transparently and honestly to, you know, to, for instance, those videos wherein I taped, where I recorded the suicidal feelings I was having. Those are real. That's what a suicidal person looks like. I think that's valuable. You know, and someday I really hope that I am able to grow a channel where other people like me are, you know, we're all learning and growing and healing together and sharing tips. And actually, if anybody knows Beryl Schwarzymski, I don't know, Errol Bershwski, I don't know what her name is, but she does food from around the world and has her viewers write into her and send her videos of their own. You know, she picks a topic like what does the world put on rice, you know, and then everybody sends in their rice recipes from different countries. And I think that's so cool that we get to see the actual other viewers. And oh wow, I'm blind. That's better. Gosh. Anyway, I want to hear from you guys. I don't want this just to be my voice. I want every one of us to be able to feel like we can communicate together and share our experiences and feel seen, and be heard. And that's my intention. So if you are on board for that and are interested in that in any way, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button for new posts. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye.